Good day. Good day, everybody. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you so much for today, and thank you for another opportunity to come into the market. And thank you so much for your grace and your mercy and your goodness and your kindness to us. I thank you so much for all of your provisions and for all of your blessings. I thank you for all the things that you're doing in our lives. And I ask for wisdom and discernment as we go into the market this morning, for good discipline. I ask these things in the name of Jesus, Yeshua. Amen. All right. So on the euro, we got EcoFin meetings all day. I don't know what those are. That is something I'm just not familiar with. EcoFin meetings are usually held in Brussels and attended by finance ministers from EU member states. They discuss a range of financial issues such as euro support mechanisms and government finances. The meetings are closed to the press, but officials usually talk with reporters throughout the day, and a formal statement covering meeting objectives may be released after the meetings have concluded. So that could send things into, well, I mean, they're saying it's a yellow, low impact type thing. We got some CAD CPI in half an hour, and Empire State Manufacturing on the dollar, also in half an hour. So it's probably going to be a decent start to the morning. And then for me, my nighttime, we've got a little bit of Aussie news, and then a bunch of Royal Bank of New Zealand rate statement and press conference. That's all tonight. So that would be a really good Tokyo session. Good Tokyo session trading. Good morning, Larry in Haven. Oh, shoot. Larry, can you hear me? I'm too quiet. I've got all my volume set like normal. Maybe just Maybe my mic was in a funny spot. Can you hear me any better now, Vin? Okay, MT5. Guys, I got stuck in a bunch of trades in the early Tokyo session, and I accidentally oversized on one layer, and that layer got stuck. And I'm still hanging on to that layer, trying to get rid of it. I need to make it louder. I haven't changed anything. I'm just going to try and switch mics and see if it makes any difference. Okay. Does this sound good? How is this, Vin? Larry, you having any hard times with the hearing, the volume, the audio? Oh, same as you this morning. Closed out at a loss as it moved down. Larry says, yes, I am not. Like you can't hear me either, Larry? Is this a me problem here? Oh no, it's good. It's good here. It's good all the way over there in Wisconsin, but it's not so good all the way over in Europe. I'm just trying to see if there's any way, like my mic is turned up. Okay, Larry can hear me loud and clear. I haven't changed anything, so it should be pretty much same settings as per usual. I will just try and speak clearly for you, Vin. I don't think there's much I can do on my end. Okay. So, am I showing you my MT5? Oh yeah, Vin, you're in the wrong place on Earth. How come you're not just in Wisconsin? Like Larry, where it's all loud and clear. Okay, so right at the end of the New York session yesterday, I was trying to get out of these positions over here. And if you know how I trade, I'm always trying to wobble out of my positions, taking losses when the market's coming back to me. And right at the end of the session in here, I just barely didn't quite get out of my trades. And so I added a little bit to try and wobble out of my positions. And then it never came back from that point. It just faded away all through the New York session, all through the London. Then during the London session, we had that run, and that took out some trades for profits. Let me put that trade history on. So that took out a good chunk of them, but didn't quite hit that last stack up there. And unfortunately, that last stack is a heavy one, like much too heavy. So I'm now stuck trying to get out of that. So I guess what you're going to do is either see me if this market runs down, or I'm going to end up stopping out, or if it comes back up some, I'll end up wobbling out of that position and keep taking losses as I take some profits. But it's run quite a ways against me now, so this is not looking so good for being able to do too much wobbling like that. Those trades they're 26 pips away, 25, 26 pips. So I think it's just hard. I don't like starting out this way because, like, how do I start the starting balance out? I guess what I'll do is, like right now, I've got the balance of 10,605.93. I'm just gonna start there. I'll just record that and see what we get. I might, but the thing is, I'm gonna have to go into a drawdown pretty quickly to start getting rid of those losses. But I guess this is just the nature of trading, right? So let's just deal with the problems as they come. That's the nature of trading. Well, especially if you trade a bunch like me. Just trade and trade and trade. Okay, so let's see. 10,605.93. $10,605.93. Today is February 17th. All right. Okay. And I'm just going to have another quick look over at the news just to refresh my mind. At 8:30, we've got the CAD news, and then we've got Empire State Manufacturing in 20 minutes. All right. So I'm not going to dump my bad trades yet. Just in case I get a leg up during the news, then there's a chance I may not have to take the loss, or I can take it much better pricing. Right? If I get a leg up, I can start taking some losses that are much cheaper rather than having that market run against me, which I try and avoid doing. Try and avoid taking the losses as the market's going against me, but as occasionally it happens. But I think today's going to be a good day because it is after a long weekend now for the Canadians and the Americans. So I feel like we're going to have some good activity today. So hopefully, if there's enough volatility, we'll just find our way out of this mess in time. That is the plan. So how are you guys doing today? Is it warming up in Wisconsin? And is it warming up in Vin? I forget whereabouts you are in Europe. Are you in London? Yeah, it's warming up. It is really foggy outside today. Cold, but sun's trying to shine. Yeah, we're still right around the freezing mark, but it's super foggy out this morning. So it's probably going to get a little bit warmer, get above the freezing mark here. Feels like 30 degrees. Like, oh yeah, like freezing is what you're saying it feels like. Yeah, so if I was awake during the London session, I would have certainly got out of this stack of trades during this move because I had drawn this trend line earlier in the day. We'll back out on the 15-minute chart. I'm going to get rid of all these trade histories. Trade history. I had drawn this trend line earlier, trying to find where that leg would likely run up. And it went and tapped it during the London session. So I definitely would have been getting out of that stack right in here. And I was not at the charts to do that. It's kind of a bummer. I kind of wish I had brought my take profits down with the trend line as time went on, and then I could have closed out on some small losses at that trend line. But whatever, I wasn't there. So yeah, we'll see if this is going to keep running down. It is continuing to grind down. It just keeps grinding down all last week, and so far this week it just keeps grinding down. And I'm getting close to my stop losses. We're also right on a deciding point right here too. Actually, I think we may even be starting to get below it. It's not looking good for this position, guys. I think I might end up having to take a loss on the whole thing and then just start over. Okay, well, let's just pull it to the daily chart and just have a look at where we're at from here. So we've got that this week still grinding down. We've got the daily candle really pushing lower, and it's sitting right on all these highs from the previous week from back there. So will it push through, and will we see it hit back down to here into these lows? Because that's a very likely spot that we could just push back down and get through there. Or at the news, it pivots and oh man, it's still running against me. It pivots and turns around, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it to the news now because I'm getting so close to hitting my stop losses. Okay. Oh man, look at that leg. Oh man, it's gonna get me before the news. That's not fun. Okay, right at the 802 mark, I think I just tapped a couple of my stop losses. I'm going to just let those last ones sit there because we're right on the 1.182. I'm going to draw that line in. I want to see because there's a good chance it will bounce right on that 1.182. Yep, so I'm not going to just take the whole position out just yet. I think I tapped a couple of them. Didn't I? History. It tapped one of them. One stop loss. So right on the 1.182 is that line. I'm going to let that be the mark in the line in the sand. And then if it pushes into those stop losses, I'm just going to close everything. I'm actually going to buy right on it to see if I get an opportunity to get out of. I need to see if I can wobble out of some of these trades. All right, let's go down to the 1 minute chart. And that leg was another 10, 11 pip leg down. So I need to just go check my other platform for a sec. Okay. I should have been adding buys as soon as that market had dropped down, but I was in the middle of talking about where we're at on the longer time frame. So I missed a big, like I should have had a big stack on that line. That's okay. That's okay. Okay. I ended up taking a loss in my pre-fund account and upset with myself. Hey, I'm Larry. A loss is not like that's just part of business. Losses are just business. Like, oh, here's the thing. If you've taken a loss as per your rules and your trading plan, then the loss is just business and it's no problem. Like, not even a tiniest problem. In fact, it's really good. Now, if you're taking losses that are outside of your plan, now you've got a bit of a problem. So make sure that you're taking your losses as per your plan, and that's absolutely good. It's critical and it's necessary. Losses are not a bad thing. When they're inside your plan, they're a good thing. They're a necessary thing. So can't look at them as a negative. It's just the cost of business, which is a positive thing. I mean, we try and keep the costs down, right? Try and keep them to a minimum, but there's no way to like completely avoid that. We're gonna take them. I just tapped one of my losses there a minute ago, and I'm not even gonna let it bother me the slightest. I'm gonna feel not so good if I had to close that whole position, which I may still have to, but looks like we're just rebounding off that line. So yeah, I know there's the psychology of losing never just completely goes away. I don't know if it ever will fully go away. It always just kind of sucks. But let's talk about it in a way to help ourselves get over it. Losses inside your plan are good. If you're taking good losses, that's what we want. there's such a thing as a good loss and a bad loss in trading. A bad loss is one outside of your plan. A good loss is one inside your plan. So let's define the type of losses we're taking so that we can talk about losses in a good way. Like, I just had a good loss because it tapped my stop loss. That's completely inside my plan. That was a good loss. Now I'm supposed to close the whole position when I hit that first stop loss. So I used a little bit of discretion as we ran into that 81 point at 182 mark. I saw there's a good chance it's going to bounce. It only tapped one, and there's a layer of them right behind that. So, but I quickly assessed the situation. If it drops below that, I've got to take the loss. I'm not going to close that whole position now just because it tapped one of those stop losses right there. We're going to see now if we can still wobble out of these positions. In 5 minutes, I might have to close the whole thing. But for now, I'm going to go back to business as usual. And start adding my buy positions back in. And am I lagging, guys? Ah, man, I hope I'm not. If I am, I'm going to go just shut some stuff down. I'm going to go shut some stuff down and make sure I have as little operating as possible at the moment. Okay, hopefully we don't have a yesterday where my computer just froze right up. All right, just a couple minutes to the news. Let's see if that news will pull this position back or just go right down and stop everything out. I think at this point, as that news, that CAD news and that dollar news comes in, it's probably just going to either run down and just stop me out of this position, and I'll just have to start everything over. We'll just reevaluate, or maybe we get an up leg out of it, and
Pastor Bob, who covered for me last week. We're going to have a very, very interesting program tonight. I'm sure you're going to find it that way. I have a guest by the name of Rabbi A.B. Finkelstein. He's off the east coast of the United States, who's going to be joining me tonight. And we're going to be talking about authenticity of things in the world. Rabbi A.B. Finkelstein, as I said, a rabbi off the east coast of the United States.
Or is it just occasional?
Are you there with me tonight? Shalom, I am here. Say, listen, I'm filling in here for Pastor Bob tonight. And I know we've never met, but I do have some very interesting questions for you. I think questions that I want to give you the opportunity to answer to, because there's a lot of rumors and conjecture that's taking place across this country relating to the Jewish population, okay? Okay. Now, you see, as being of the synagogue and a teacher of the Jewish race, because you are a race, aren't you? Well, some say we're a race, some say we're a religion. Yeah, well, what do you say? We're a little of each. I can imagine, yeah. Now, I want to get into some hard topic here right away here. you're a very pronounced person among your own people, and of course you're very aware that I don't like you or your race, okay? I'm sure you're aware of this, right?
That's your problem.
You see, there's a big topic that's going around on this 6 million Holocaust that took place during World War II of the Jews at Buchenwald, Auschwitz, and different places. A lot of information has come out here, Rabbi Finkelstein, that it's all myth and it's all conjecture. Could I have your view on this?
Well, everybody knows that the Jews never told a lie in the history of the world. However, whether it's 6 million or 600,000 or 60,000, it's just a number.
I don't have any news.
Oh, it's just a number, but the thing that I want to get to you at is that, the 1934 World Encyclopedia stated that there was only 3.5 million Jews in all.
So there was a video running. Okay. All right. That should be better now, guys. Sorry about that. All right. So the news is here. We're at the news. Empire State Manufacturing is a green number. It is 7. The forecast was 6.4. We got 7.1. I don't really know if that's much of a gonna affect the news, or affect the charts. Gonna just have a look at the graph on Forex Factory. Maybe I'll pull that up on here. Let's go back over to the news and we'll pull up this graph. So previous was 7.7. The forecast was 6.4. We got 7.1. So I don't quite understand it all, but I can see that we don't have a really abnormal value. So that's really all I'm looking at the moment. There's nothing too crazy here that should affect everybody in their decisions. But on the CAD, also not much. Trimmed CPI 2.4. There's not anything very substantial here. Oh, wait a sec. What's the foreign securities purchases? They're way down. Forecasted was 14 billion. We're minus 5, almost 6 billion. So that could affect the CAD. All right. Let's get back over here and see if I can start getting trying to decide what to do with this mess that I've got going on. Just need to take a broader look at what's happening. Well, that 15-minute bar kind of closed in my favor, but I don't know if that's going to stop this pressure that still seems to be heading down. I don't know. I guess I'm just going to have to play it. Like as soon as we get below that 1.182, I'll just stop everything out and we'll just reassess from there. I guess that's what I'm going to have to do. If I can take some profits along the way, I will just chip away at that huge stack of those losses. If I can get rid of them, then I've got a whole stack. Like I'm not that far away. Like all my other trades are so much further away from stop losses. So if I can wobble and hit some profits, I can start chipping away at that stack and try and remove that stack. Hit that stack, and then I'll just take a loss. So those are like $12 and $13 losses, which is kind of a bummer. Okay, so we're taking profit there, so I'm going to take a loss on this side. Oh, I already did take a loss. Oh, that's because I tapped that one. Okay, well, I'm going to just, for habit here, I'm going to remove a loss because we hit some profit. So on the next push down, I'm going to buy again. And we'll see if we can do it again. And then I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 of them in that stack that I've got to get rid of. So if we could get 4 up and downs, 4, 5, 6 little iterations, 1, 2, 3, just adding in here 4. If I can get a few iterations, I can get out of that stack, possibly for a smaller loss, or even just remove it completely, which would be ideal. So if it goes back down to that 182 level, I'm going to get into a heavy stack, like probably 16 trades down there, because that's the very end of the line for me. So that's going to be where my heaviest trade stacks are going to be, is in here. Because if it goes down, I'm stopping out right after that. And that's the only reason I can get in heavy, is because my stop losses are right behind that zone. That zone. Are things clear now? Like, is the audio all good? Am I lagging a bunch? Yeah, audio is good, or yeah, it's lagging a bunch. All right, pressing back down to that 182 level. And are we going to just break through it? I'm going to add a pretty good stack as soon as it gets down there. Maybe just one here. A little bit too early. And I don't want to short down here at the moment because this is the area where I'd been thinking we'd see a bounce. So I just don't feel comfortable shorting unless we just blow right through. Then I'm probably going to end up on the short side, like taking a stop, taking a loss on all this. So look at that. Might be taking a loss right in here. I'm going to put a pretty good stack on right in here. And then I'm also going to get ready to just close everything. Okay, strong candle close. Below that, I'm just going to take the loss right there. Also need to go close everything on my other platform. Oh, that one was, oh man. My other platform was a bigger loss. It is pressing right through. Huh. Man, I did not expect that. Really did not expect that. Man, that is such a bummer that I had to carry that big stack down with me too. Eight, four. Well, it just is what it is. I guess I'm going to get on the short side finally. And then if this market comes back down to here, we kind of build this like this M type double topping pattern. So if we came all the way back down to here, we could see that this market wants to roll all the way back over. I don't know. I kind of just wish I was able to take in that loss before the session instead of starting it out the session with a loss. So we're at 10,391. I'm just trying to decide like if I feel good about shorting it. I feel like this is just such a difficult area for me to decide on. Like I feel like maybe that right there when we broke, so the 183. I think if we stay below the 183, I do feel comfortable staying on the short side because it broke that news pivot from way back over here. So yeah, I think I'm going to stay on the short side below 1.183. So let's go down to the small time frame. I'm going to just clear all these chart objects lists out of here. I'm going to put 1.183, and then we're going to see just how much that is. 183. Right there. Okay. We've got, oh, it's only 12 pips to there. Okay, well, so what I think, it would be just so frustrating if this rallied right back up and popped right through and above it. I mean, I don't know if it does, but man, that's going to be so annoying. think I'm just going to watch it just for a little to see what shape we get. Because if we get a rebound right away and it heads back up, I don't want to be short just yet. I want to see that, okay, like this is the type of pattern that's coming in here that's telling me we're probably going to keep heading down. But I think I'm going to make this the line in the sand for me, which means like if I do that, I'm going to shrink my stop loss to, because I usually have a 35 pip stop loss, but I don't want to have a 35 pip stop loss way up here when I don't really want anything to do with being short. Oh, look at that. See, this is kind of what I was that those buyers are coming back in. It's a fight. What is there any news coming out? There's not any news, is there? Don't you just love it when that happens? When this figures itself out, I'm going to be trading a bunch today. Strategically, methodically, but I'm going to work my way back. But right now, I'm having a hard time picking a side. And it's so annoying because I just had that one stack that was lingering. Like otherwise, I wouldn't have taken a loss there. So that one stack really caused me a lot of problems. That rallied back 11 pips. It's a big fight going on in this zone. And I want to get in on some of this volatility. Just having a hard time here on where I'm going to go, how I'm going to play this. Like, now that it stopped me out, I'm still wanting to get back on the buy side, especially with this rejection. We had this rejection here right at the start of our session, and now we've got an even bigger rejection here. So like, that's not very encouraging to go short with, but the pressure still seems to be pushing it down. I don't know, I'm having a hard time right here. What are you guys doing? Have you guys picked sides, or are you just also waiting because you got both stopped out, right, on your trades? Yeah, Vin closed out on his, and Larry did too. Losses for everybody. Well, I'm gonna just start going short and just do it lightly. I'll trade it at my normal way. Just do the same old thing. I'm a little hesitant if this just goes springing back up, though. I'm gonna say it to myself. I told you, Josh, you should have been on the long side, but I don't know. So yeah, I'm just gonna switch sides and do what I usually do. Same old thing. And at some point during this session, we'll find a couple really good setups and we'll make a little bit more money on them as they show up. So I'm gonna just try and get this thing back over 10,400 mark for now. Just take little sips out of the market and chip away at that loss. Oh man, just really makes me wish I was awake or I just stayed awake to get rid of that last trade right in there. I would not be in this situation. But you can't monitor trades all the time. Okay, there's a profit. And we're pressing back down. This is starting to give me, so let's see that 15-minute bars. Yeah, we've got a wick on the top of that 15-minute bar now. Larry's in a long in another account. I'm watching closely here to see if this will start to be if we're going to see a little inverse head and shoulders come in. If that's the case, I may flip back onto the buys, but we need to wait a little and see how this shapes up. Yeah, so I'm just really hesitant to get into the short still. If that pattern starts showing up, I'm going to get back into the buys for sure. And I'm going to be strong on the buys. If that pattern develops and turns into an inverse head and shoulders. But for now, see that? It is coming back in. It's coming, those buyers are coming back in. Well, Larry, you could be just fine in your long. Look at how this is shaping up right now. I'm very much considering getting back into that. Very much so. Right as we shape up. Yeah, look at, oh man, that's going to just, it is starting to do that pattern I'm talking about right now. It is starting to do it. There's that 5-minute chart. And it is creating an inverse head and shoulders. So I'm going to start playing, if this 5-minute bar holds in its upper range and closes up here, I'm going to move back into the buys. And I'm going to move back into the buys a little more strongly. And play it like that for now. But I want to see where this bar closes before I start doing that. So just a couple more minutes. Because if we get a good 3-bar reversal on this shoulder, that's a really good signal for this time of morning. I can see people taking it, and then that just plays out to the whole longer term outlook that I had of the buyers coming back in this area. So I will get back into it, but I want to see how this closes. A lot of wrestling going on here. A lot of wrestling going on. I imagine, well, if we've got all three of us are having a bit of a hard time here, then I imagine the market itself is also having a hard time. Going to be wrestling, battling for the direction. Here's the thing, if the market breaks this trend line back up and starts holding back over there, I think the buyers are going to come in really strongly. So that's that 183 mark. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to stay look at that 5-minute bar is coming back down. And that's probably going to give me the signal to stay short, but I'm only going to stay short below the 183. I'm still going to wobble and trade the way that I usually trade. I just have to, there's just some points in the market where I don't want to have a 35 pip stop loss all the way up here in this type of position. So I'm probably going to shrink down to a 17 pip stop loss to keep myself in the range that I'm okay to be short in. And I'll keep wobbling the same way I do, taking profits and losses. But I'm going to do it in a smaller range. Okay, so we do have that 5-minute bar closing back down. So I'm going to shrink my stop losses down to 17 pips. And that will keep me, my 17 pip stop losses will be up here. And that's where I want to just get out of them anyway. So just for this particular zone, I'm shrinking my stop losses, and I'm going to trade a little bit more heavily inside my zone because my layers will be stacked a little more tightly together. So it'll be kind of cool because it'll give us lots of opportunities to take some heavier little trades and chip away at this loss. But this is not revenge. This is totally strategic and methodical. I got my plan here in place. So Just taking a little bit to develop the strategy for this morning. But now that we've got a plan set in place, let's execute. And I want to execute well. And we'll get this account back up. 10,400. We're still good. All right, I'm going to start getting into this. See, the stop losses are up there rather than way up 35 pips away. So I'm going to be cramming my pyramid stacking method into a smaller space. So if it keeps trading in this zone, it'll allow us to make some profits a little bit quicker than normal, like almost a little bit quicker than normal. Okay. I'm gonna get into a couple shorts in here now. And it is game on. Kind of a really tricky spot to navigate, right? It's a difficult spot. But as we're watching the 1 minute chart develop, the 5 minute chart develop, is giving us our clues as to where it's going to head next. So I think this is a really good way to see at least how I look at the market and navigate it. I don't know like how you see it, but this is how I make my shift from my bias. And almost all the time when the market makes that bigger shift in the market, I end up taking a loss. And that's just normal. I mean, that just happens. So, because I'm always trying to build my basis for trading on that longer term outlook. But we're shifting right now on the small time frame. So it's hard to go through those shifts and not lose too much money. But right at the moment, I'm right within my rules. We haven't lost too much. Lost about 2% on that whole thing. But that's right within my rules. So that is me taking a good loss. Now, my apiary account, unfortunately, actually took more than I should have. Because I'm focused on the other platform. So I'm going to have to also trade that one quite a bit to get that profit back, those losses back. And then at some point, if the market starts to run, I'll probably get in to a position where I hold some runners. That's what I'm trying to not demonstrate too much, but I want to, if the market gets into that type of running really strong trending market, I'm going to show you how we get back into some running trades to follow the energy. All right, so it's going to be a busy morning. As this pulls up back into this zone, we're going to add 2 trades in here. And then we're going to add 4 trades up in here, and 8 trades and 16 trades up here. Okay, this is the pre-planning. You can see there's this candle's flickering quite a bit. That's indicative of a bigger move. and volatility coming into the market. So I'm going to get into a second trade there. And we have to get through this section of the market without losing too much money. And so that's partly why I shrunk my stop losses, because I don't feel comfortable beyond that level, that 1.83. Like, if it just whips back and starts climbing back up, then I want to be on the long side again. And I'm watching out now, right as we're watching this, is this going to turn out into an inverse head and shoulders? I'm watching out for these patterns, because if it starts to show up, I don't want to be heavy into that trade if it's going to run back up. All right. Well, seems like we've got a 3-bar reversal trying to come into the market here. Okay. That 1-minute bar closed with a confirmation for the turn, the 1-minute chart. So we'll see if we get another leg down. Okay, just took profit on that upper trade. Didn't get into a full stack on that one, just one. And what's giving me confidence is that this pivot in here doesn't seem to be turning into an up leg that would cause this to be like a triple bottom or an inverse head and shoulders. So that starts to give me a little more confidence to the downside. Oh, your alveo's not working. It's locked up. You know what's funny is mine seems to be working. Just trading positions here. Just gonna keep checking these longer time frames. Like if this trend were to break, I would be very hesitant on staying short. Like, I'm just watching this super closely because it's for me, in my view, it's a finicky area. But I think for the moment, it's best, I personally see it as staying on the short side now. That's so frustrating, isn't it, Larry? When your platform isn't working, I cannot stand it. Like, especially if I'm in losses and the platform stops working, it just drives me nuts. Do you guys have a lot of competitive nature in you? Do you guys find yourselves to be really competitive or just a little competitive? And how does that affect you in your trading? Okay, if it pushes up, you're going to get into another layer of shorts. Right here. 2, 3. And it bounced pretty good right on that trend. Okay, taking some profit there. So that was a good little trade setup. Let's not finish taking profit. Okay, got full profits on that layer. I'm going to take one off of the bottom for a loss if it comes back down to these lows right here. Because I just don't want to be short at the bottom. Although, you know what, as these pivots start to come in, I think we're going to start creating a wedge to the downside. So what kind of just looks like I'm starting to see is we got this line coming in here, got the market wedging down into it. And if that's the case, it should test the lows and go back through again. So I'm going to just maybe not take the loss on that one just yet. And I'm going to look to keep shorting inside this wedge. Oh man, that is such a bummer on my funded account because it is 2 days before payday and I just lost all my profits in my funded account. Oh man, that is such a bummer. I only just got to start trading it too. Like I haven't been able to trade it for the past 3 weeks. If I had, I would have put profits into the account, like with my FTMO account that I'm trading here with you guys. Guys, I'm going to trade like a crazy person over the next little bit. Super methodical, but I'm going to trade a bunch. Okay, I'm just going to fade into one here. I'm going to get into another layer as this goes up. Is Alvia working for you properly now, Larry? Just take a while to get going. Okay, I'm going to get into another trade here. And another one. Still under this trend line. Trend line in here. get into another trade here. Okay, just taking a little bit of profit. Okay, on the 1 minute chart, we've got these shaved tops where we've got even tops. That often is an indication of a leg down. So we'll see if we get that. Okay, gonna add some shorts here. And we're starting to break that trend line. So I'm not going to add right now. Okay, I'm just going to pull out to that hour chart just for a minute. We had a pretty strong candle close downward on the last hour. This candle's coming right back up though at the moment. Just at a few minutes here where it is indecisive. Just being slow to add to my positions. I'm waiting to see if the market will give us more clarity on where it wants to go, because I'm still a little wary of the market running up. So when I start to see the signals that it's going to head up, I'm slow to add. If I start seeing the signals back in favor, then I'm going to get a little bit more confident and add more to my shorts. But it's just a finicky spot for me in the way that I'm seeing it. For you, it may be clear. For me, I'm just having a bit of a hard time getting a good read. Okay, guys, I'm going to just be right back in just a moment. Okay. Okay, we've got a turn coming in on 1 minute chart. So I'm just going to fade these little pushes upward. I'm going to short them. Okay, 5 minutes to the hour. Just have a quick look. Make sure there wasn't anything that came up on the news, in the news. NAHB housing market, yellow folder. Well, it is not giving us great. Okay, we're coming up to the hour when it's probably going to pick up. It hasn't been all that active over the past hour, but we should see it pick up right at the next hour. Two minutes to the hour, and that housing market index. I'm not too familiar with that one. But you never know. Sometimes you get a huge discrepancy in those yellow folders, and you can just have a ripping market going one way. So just look at it just in case. The market index was previously 37. Forecast is 38. So if we're above or below the 50 mark, that's like a pretty strong number. If we're above 50, it's just, if it's above or below 50, it's a defining number, a defining value. So I'm just trying to see if we stay below, is that bad for the dollar? And if we get above 50, is that good for the dollar? That's what I'm thinking. I'm just not too familiar with this one. 15 seconds. 36, so it's even lower. So it's, oh, I mean, it's like one little point lower. It's pretty much right near where the previous in the forecast is. So I don't think that's going to do anything to the market. Taking some profit on those trades. And let's see if the activity picks up this hour. I need to make some trades. Okay, we're above the 400 mark. That's kind of nice to get back above that. Just one little baby step at a time. Strong 1 minute candle to the downside. And I want to make sure that I'm out of that last trade. I'm going to just pull it up because I want to make sure that it gets out on any push into that low, that 1816 line. I'm going to just get out of one. I just don't want to have shorts sitting right at the bottom. Now I just have one trade left on there. See if it can hit. And if not, that's okay. I can wobble out of it later. I just don't want to have the shorts sitting right on the line where it could bounce. Okay, and then we hit it. So we're at 404, 10,404. Now let's see what happens next. Okay, let's try to press down and break all those lows. We'll see if we get a run to the downside. The market hasn't had a good leg in, well, this week, and it didn't really get a good leg last week either. So we could see this turn into a bit of a runner. Or we maybe just consolidate again today. But as we're speaking, I'm seeing all that pressure start to come in and turn this market into a bear market just temporarily. Get back down to that 1.177. And that is about 50 pips away. In one good leg, we could get there. Okay, we've got to pull back on the 1 minute chart, so I'm going to get into that, into a couple trades. I'm going to fade these pretty good on these pushes back up. Just because we rounded over that turn. That's a pretty good turn to put the pressure back to the downside. So I'm just fading into these just a little bit stronger. Okay, Vin, thanks for stopping in. It's good to have you. Have a good rest of your day. Yeah, and we'll see you tomorrow. I'm going to be trading here for a little bit, so I'm going to stick around. Larry, you can also do whatever you want to do. I'm going to keep this running, though, because I'm going to be trading a lot over the next hour. I'm going to take one of these take profits off. Just let it sit there in case, as we build this pressure down into this line, it's a good chance we're going to break it. So I'm just going to hold one trade for the moment, and if it gets into favor, I'll turn it into a break-even trade. Oh, Sean didn't come in. Is that Founder's Crew that he usually comes in on Tuesday? Oh, Wobble Crew? Oh, I didn't realize that was on Tuesday. Because anybody can get into that one, right? Yeah, I haven't been one of those in a little while. but I wonder why he's not showing up today. Kind of interesting. Is the trading room on the schedule for this week? Did you see? Okay, just taking a little bit more profit again. Larry, we're going to get this money back slowly and steadily and methodically, right per our rules. Yeah, the trading room's on for Thursday. Okay. So I'm just kind of curious. Like I trade similar to Sean, but I can't do exactly what Sean does because he's Sean and I'm Josh. But do you find it helpful, like seeing somebody else take his principles and use it for themselves? Like I'm hoping that I can. My attempt is to bring value to other traders. I want to see if I can not only improve my own skills, but help other people along the way. Okay, we're pressing back into these lows. Are we going to have a run? Okay, we kind of had 1, 2, 3. We've hit it 3 times. We're pressing in for the 4th time, and we're starting to break. I think we could see a pretty good leg. And I'm going to move that trade setup to break even so that it can't lose, just that one runner. And then if we find that we get a nice, strong, trending market, Larry, I'm going to step on the gas. But not until it's strong. Right now, I don't have a good, strong signal, but I'm hoping to trade through this so that we can hit a good sweet spot in the market where we can step on the gas a little bit and find some good trading, high probability, and make some of that money back that it took from us. I want to show you what it looks like when it's a good time to step on the gas a bit, make a size up just a little when the market's really good. So I'm going to bring that one trade stop loss down just a little, just in case that pops back up above that line. I want to make a little profit on it. Oh man, it just ticks me off so much I just took a big loss on my apiary fund account. I took like a little bit more than 3% loss on my apiary fund account. It's only supposed to be 2% loss. So that's a bad loss. And it's right before a payday. I'm not going to make money unless, I mean, the chances of me making that 3% back are slim. But I tell you, I'm going to do everything in my might to do whatever I can to bring it back without revenging. But every opportunity I get that looks good, I'm going to be into it, especially if we create a direction on the market here. If we create some strength and energy to the downside, I'm going to hop all over it. But we need it to show us its cards. Okay, watch out for the market to pop back in to that consolidation. That's why I've got those stop losses there for profit in case it pops back over that line. This may not be a breakout to the downside. It may just be a little whipsaw. But at this point, I'm starting to think it is going to break to the downside. So we'll see. Either way, we'll make a little profit on this trade. What are we gonna do? Sure made me feel like it was gonna drop down, but it's trying to push back in. Yeah, there it is. It's trying to push right back up. Took a little profit by hitting that stop loss. And we're coming back up into that zone. So let's just wait a couple minutes and see what happens. Because if it rejects this to the downside, we could see an up leg. and pressing back down. Okay. All right, well, I guess it's, let's check the 5-minute candle. Still pressing down now. So I guess we're gonna say that that is, well, a bit of a fake out on the 5-minute chart, but maybe this 15-minute candle is gonna close to the downside. Yeah, it's looking that way. That's still got 8 minutes on that candle. So when it pops up, I'm still going to short now. Any pop up, I'll just start shorting. Okay, gonna add a short there. And now my 17 pip stop losses are right on that 1.183. So that's pretty much perfect. As we extend down and make a whole bunch of new lows, I'm probably gonna have to stretch my stop losses back out again. But for now, this is perfect. So anything under here, I'm going to leave my 17 pip stop losses on just for now. And I'm going to short pretty heavily on the pops up. And I just hope that we get to the point in the market where we can, I want to show you what it's like for me to step on the gas when it's good. Because at some point, we'll probably find another little spot where we've got good high probability. And I'm going to make a chunk of that money back that it took from us earlier. I just want to show you what it looks like, but it's patience. Patience and waiting for those good high probability setups to enter in. So just gotta wait patiently and hang around trading lightly until it happens. Just keep taking little sips. Eventually a really good setup will show up and then we can sink our teeth into a trade a little bit better. Okay, just took profit on that one. 409, almost at 410. It's been not really very active morning. Not nearly as active as I was expecting. Thought we were going to see some good action. Sometimes it shows up right in the next few minutes, the half-hour mark. We could see a bunch of activity enter in. So we'll see. Just any pop-up, I'm going to short it again. Well, we just got to wait here. I guess if it shoots down a good bunch, we could maybe also go long on it for some scalps. But I think as we keep creating this downward pressure, let's go back out to the longer term time frame for a sec. Go back out to the hour chart. And I'm going to erase everything. And I'm going to keep my 1.183. That's my important line. All right, I'm going to put the 1.183 back on. Right there. What I'm seeing is I think there's a really high chance as we've got this hour closing down that we're very likely going to come down into these lows. The 1.177 and then potentially even create a like a double topping type pattern, like a big M. I don't know about that, but I do see these lows all becoming a very high probability as we speak right now. So from here now into these lows, we've probably got 30 pips, 20, 30 pips of running space. So that's starting to become very high probability. And I'm just noticing right now that we are breaking these lows over here. Can I zoom in on it? Yep. So I'm going to point them out. These are going to play into our trading. Right here, we've got this low that we have broken right there. And then we're sitting on another one or two right now, right in here. But the significant part is that we did just pass that one. But once we fully get through those, this last running space, this is almost free space for the market to just run, or what they call fair market value gap or whatever, I think is what they call those. So these are like the last 2 points that we've broken now. So on the pullbacks, I am going to start getting in heavily on the shorts. And what I'll probably do is start holding some more positions to get some runners to make them back through this whole thing. I'll start holding some hopefully 10, 20 pip runners when we get the pullbacks. That's how I'm seeing it, and that's how I'm going to execute. But gotta wait for some pullbacks. Can't really enter short into the market right now. But that's the game plan, and I think it's a good game plan. So that is going to be, these lines that I've drawn on here are pretty much the strategy of where I'm trading, and then the wobbling that I'm going to be doing is the technique I'm going to be using to manage risk all the way through that strategy, that short strategy. And if it just pops straight back up, I'm going to take a loss on that 1.38 line. 1.183 line up here. So I think we've got a good strategy here. This strategy could be good for, all of today. It may even go into tomorrow that it could be good for. Or if it pops right back up, I'm probably going to trade to the long side. Like if we get a big whipsaw in here on the 1 hour or 4 hour candles, and we start trading back above, that could be a good indication. And we've got all the buyers coming back and going long. So I'm going to be watching out for that. But as we speak, we're breaking down lower and getting below these lows over here. So I think we're going to be holding short for the rest of the session. I think that's how I'm going to play it. Okay, any of the pop-up, I'm going to just start going short here in this little pop-up. I'm going to get into my other platform. Got to get into some shorts. All right, there we go. And I'm going to move these stop losses up to get over that 1.183. I don't want them stopping out there. Okay. It's taking profit there on the 1. How are you doing, Larry? Are you starting to short with some of this, or are you still hanging on to some of those longs you had in the other account? Okay, took profit. Puts us at 411. All right, we need to get a good pullback so we can go short. Shorts and some longs. I'm really wishing that I stayed awake last night to play my longs out and get out of them. If I was up for it, I absolutely would have, and I wouldn't have had to take that big loss. I do not like that, but it is what it is. It's in the past. I chose to sleep. Come on, where's the volatility? Trying to see if I can squeeze one short in. I need a little push up. Try one there. Okay, it just fits. And I'm just going to start holding in my apiary account. I'm going to just start adding some shorts and I'm going to hold them. And I'm going to add and I'm going to hold one. I'm going to take the take profit off. And if it goes back up, I'll add a couple with take profits and some without take profits. And see if we can make some of that money back. All right, Larry, I'm going to be back in just a few minutes again. I'm just going to go get a couple things while this market just sorts itself, while it does what it's going to do. But I'll be back in just a few minutes. And then I'm going to be sticking around to trade for a while. All right. See you in a few minutes. All right. Just gonna pull this hour up. I just want to check. Yeah, we're still right in those lows over there. 5 minutes to the hour. It's a very strong chance that this hour bar is going to close strongly to the downside. So that's starting to get us into a good high probability short zone. So I am going to start to get in a little bit on the heavy side on these shorts. I'm going to get into a little bit here. And in my apiary account as well, I'm going to get into a couple. Add another little bit here. I want to make sure we're taking some profit while we do this, and then I think it's just okay to hold on to a little bit. Like, that's the way I generally do it. When I see that the market is into a strong trend, I'll just hold on to 1 or 2 or 3 trades to go along with that trend. So 2 minutes and change to the hour. Let's start getting in a little bit more. Oh, I missed that. All right. Now I need to also just put in some marks or some lines of resistance right in here. Now we have a new spot that's just kind of showed up here. Let's see what happens. Okay. Let's check out that hour bar when it closes. So there we go. We got to close on the hour. The body is closed. 12 pips to the short side. Its entirety was 18 pips. So it's an 18 pip candle to the downside. So it's a pretty strong candle close. And we closed below most of these lows over here. So that's also a good signal to stay to the short side now. Now, this could all be wrong at any moment. This market could run back up. So don't assume that it's going to just go down now. It might just run back up. But these are the reasons I'm starting to see why we can stay on the short side and gather up some pips now to the short side. And I am a little bit heavier because my stop losses are a lot smaller. Ended up being, it's been a slow session today, surprisingly. Did not expect that. Oh, what is Wednesday? I didn't look ahead. Is there some big news on Wednesday? Wednesday. Yeah. Core durable goods in the morning, and then FOMC meeting minutes at 2 p.m. That's just the meeting minutes tomorrow. And Royal Bank of New Zealand Governor Bremen speaks also. Oh, we got to get into shorts. Right in this zone. So Bremen speaks tomorrow. That's 2:10 p.m. my time. It's a red folder. Okay, I think we just took like 1 or 2 profits there. I want to hold one of those trades. So nothing really crazy tomorrow at all. The pound has CPI during the London session. That could be a mover. fade back into another short right here. And just see if we can squeeze some profits out of these little moves. It's really not going very far. It's fine if it just continues to head down. It's just going to be super annoying if it starts grinding back up. I'm already a little bit bottom heavy. Stacked a bit too heavy in the bottom. Add back into these shorts up here. One more as it's trying to fade up. Pressing up into our resistance line. We'll see if that holds. Okay, we have an apex candle right here at the moment. We got like an even bar, even body right now. Tried to break that low and it just popped right back up to the bodies. So not quite a turn just yet. Okay, I'm gonna try and fade that, see if I can get my take profits inside this consolidation. Now, if I get some profit on this layer, I'm going to have to take off a couple of losses down here, because it is starting to fade back up now. That's not what we wanted. Well, unless you still got your longs on. Man. Oh no. I missed something. Oh no, we didn't even hit that. We didn't get down to the 1.8 level yet. Got 1.1805. So it didn't quite get that. Sometimes if you hit those triple zeros, you get a big bounce, but it didn't quite get down there. Oh man. This is exactly what I didn't want to have happen. Hopefully this trend line holds this trend in place. And make sure that these stop losses are just on the other side of that that line that we drew. I'm going to add a little layer in there. But I'm not liking this pattern. It is just grinding up now. Not liking that pattern. Not be fun to be wrong on both sides today. That would not be fun at all. Oh man. Man, oh man. That's a strong rebound. Man, that was a strong close on the hour chart. And this is rebounding quick. Now, the good thing is it may be going too quick to try to come back up. So this may fade right back in our favor here in a few minutes, which I sure hope so. I'm not into being wrong again. Not into that at all. I'm kind of thinking it ran up a little too quick though. I think it might have gone up a little too quick. Should see it. Oh man, we should see it pull back in here somewhere. I can't believe it's doing this. Man. Gotta be kidding me. Out of all the things, all the plays. This is so annoying. Out of all the plays, just bringing my stop losses all together so that that thing just closes if it's going to shoot up. Just took another big loss on my apiary fund account, which is brutal because that was over a 3% loss. Now I'm took almost a 5% hit today on my apiary account. Right before payday on that account. Well, whatever happens here, we're going to hold still profits in the account. Sometimes these things just happen. It's what the dirty outside range. That's what you call that. The worst part is when it happens back to back. Like, it's just so annoying when you go through like all that like method, game plan, like super strategic. Come in there, think you got a good plan. I mean, the stop loss is still a good plan, but it sucks to just go and hit it again. Yeah, that is just the nature of trading. I feel like it's going to go into it too. I think it's going to close us out for a loss. Do we get a little mini double top here, or is this market just cruise right through? I think it's going to hit stop loss. That kind of leg is the leg that I've been expecting to show up in the market. Didn't hit it yet. There we go. Back-to-back losses. Man. Oh, I hate that so much. I hate that so much. Look at the loss today. Man. But, you know, that is one dirty, tricky market. I mean, I said that might happen. I've been expecting that bull leg to come in. I sure did not expect it like that. Nope. Just dirty. Just so dirty. How are you making out, Larry? Sorry that I just got us into those shorts, but man. Like all the analysis, everything, I didn't do anything wrong. You know, it was well planned, good game plan. Nobody would have known. But there's no way around saying that that's fun when you're back to back like that. So we lost about 350 today. I'm going to check my FTMO account just to see what the webs, like I want to see what they've recorded as my loss, because I had some trades running between the New York session through the Tokyo, and so I'm not sure what trades have carried over. So I'm going to just see how much risk I have left in my FTMO account. It's going to take me a minute to go look through. Yeah, I'm at minus 348 today. So I've got $150 left in my today's risk to trade with. So if there's any more trading, I'm gonna have to just be really light and just, I don't know, man. Back to back, and now I don't have a good feel on it. I think, no, I don't want to say it. Can't say it. Finishing off on a loss. There's no way I'm gonna be able to get all that back today. So that is just gonna have to chalk up to a loss and say that we're down to 250. The account's still positive. Man, like I want to do something about it, but at the moment, there's just nothing for me to do. So at the middle, it's just kind of stuck right in the middle of a bunch of price action in the chart, like on a bigger scale. So now we've got like a high up here and a low here, and we're pretty much in the middle. Well, I guess it's kind of good that I didn't lose 4% today, because my losses are supposed to be 2% per loss. So it's kind of nice that I'm a little bit below the 4%, taking 2% back to back. So I don't know. I'm thinking that the best thing to do is just to come back tomorrow and just start off from where we're at now. I just hate finishing like this. Just grinds my gears so much, but the reality is I don't have a good idea now. I don't know which way to go. And I'm going to say that it's these types of markets that it's just best to wait until you get more clarity. So we'll get some more volatility over the rest of the week, and we'll start bringing it back. But I think I'm just gonna have to call it today. So that puts us at a minus 3.5% today. Because I didn't even get to record. Oh yeah, I recorded, I think 600 and change. Man, oh, so unexpected. Just super low volatility and outside range. Just the worst combo. Yeah, Larry, I'm just going to call it quits for today and say the market won today. Yeah. All right. Well, for anybody that's watching or watching the recording, that is just an example of a bad day. Occasionally, you hit back-to-back stop losses. Like with this type of trading, it's very unlikely for this to happen. But just occasionally it does. We didn't lose too much. Like we stopped out exactly where we're supposed to. I've got 2% per stop out when I hit my max losses, and I ended up keeping it less than that today. So we're just gonna have to say good losing, and we'll come back tomorrow. All right. Okay, have a good rest of your day. We'll catch you guys tomorrow.